We have one round to go in BBL Supercoach for this season 2023/24. It has been a fun ride. Thank you for coming along with me for my first year of making content here for the Big Bash Supercoach, and I hope you did well out of that. It was a much better week for myself there, gaining 803 ranks. Sorry, it's a little bit of a later video today coming into this last round. I pretty cooked actually, a bit of a slow morning after playing yesterday, coming out of retirement for a couple of games in playing in Sydney there for anyone that follows along. 742 for me. 1729 is my season rank now, and I think I probably should make some ranks in the final round as well, given I did trade in 3 Thunder players heading into this last round. So let's move into my team here now. I've made my 3 trades, and there's only one that I may change, and I'm just going to see how it works out with my loops following this video. But that's the reintroduction I should say, of Cameron Bancroft. It's either going to be Bancroft or it's going to be Hales, and I can do the Hales one easily. Looking at my setup now, I'm going to be looping Overton and Bancroft, if that was the play here. And whichever way it works out, if Overton goes well and Bancroft doesn't, if they both do well, or if Overton doesn't and Bancroft does well, it doesn't involve Chowdhury at all. I think I'd likely to be playing AJ Ty over Chowdhury after his incredible 146. So the other option there is to trade one of Chowdhury or AJ Ty to Hales to get that extra cash, because Hales up to 150 odd now, which is crazy. Or just leave it at this with Bancroft in there for the 107 there. So show you my 3 trades there. So Walter comes out. I have enough looping. Dooley comes out as well after his mighty 0. And then Zamps would come out for this one here, given I'd rather play Chowdhury at the moment if anything went wrong for those 3 trades of Bancroft, Daniel Sams, and also McAndrew. So what I'll laugh at is Sams and McAndrew ended up being the 2 trades that I was going to go before the last week's round, which when McAndrew came out and started taking wickets, I was spewing. I ended up going a little bit against the grain, thinking that a lot of people would go for Daniel Sams. I wanted to go for Chris Green, which then gave me enough cash to go for Warner as well. And that was kind of where I was at with that. Didn't work out terribly. Obviously, I missed out on McAndrew's 81, but it gave me a little bit extra cash to play with, given Sam's lost 20 odd thousand there in that one. So yeah, missed out on Macca's 81, which would have pushed me up into about the sort of 780, 790 range, which would have been a massive week for me and probably got me down to about, 1400, 1300 or something like that. So they're the 3 trades there. Pretty happy, to be honest with you, with where the squad is at coming into this round, given I'll have 6 double game players with the Thunder boys. So Sams, Warner, Bancroft, will have Green, McAndrew, and also Sanger, who I grabbed last week for his 62. I did loop in Chowdhury last week as well. But to round off my squad for this week, Inglis is likely to be playing. He's another one that I could use as a guy that I loop out. Matt Short, Overton is a potential looper. At this stage, I've got Sam Harper in the starting side for that, and I will move Inglis down or Billings across. Sorry, Inglis down if Overton doesn't play well. If he does play well, I'll leave things as they are, or I could move Inglis down to Billings' spot is kind of where we're at for that. So yeah, Warner in there as well. Maxwell, obviously a double game player. I'm going to VC Samsey so I can captain one of my non-player guys if he does well, which I suppose in this one, if they're the only team with a double game, I should say, then he's likely going to be the play this week. If you're just looking for overall points, like I'm just looking to improve my rank now. I actually have made a final against Dr. Kando, who runs the Supercoach POG Masters League, which is going to be cool to see how we go in that one. He's had a really good season there. So Ty and Hardy down below with Chris Green, McAndrew, and Sanger, and have Chowdhury in there as kind of my moving around piece at this point. So that's the squad at the moment. Pretty happy with where that's going to be. I imagine, I think I'll gain some ranks coming into this, given I have the 6 double game players. So I made the final of the public league that they put me in against Milgarn, who is first in that league. I was second, and then I made the final of the JBFA league as well that I put together with Kane there, first versus second in that one too. So pretty cool. At that there, we'll go into the POG Masters Cup just to see how that one played out there. And we do have the top 4 final, which is Jake, who is just in the top 100, I think, and then Tim in the top sort of 200 or 300. So that's going to be a fun matchup there. And then Maxi Bryden up against Damon in the bottom 8 section as well. Let's look at the top scorers across the POG Masters for this one. Yeah, so Kane sitting in a good position there in third. Overall in that one there, you've got Kai at 8,230, who didn't have as good a round, but clearly ahead of the next guys on the list. And you move down to myself there in sort of 8th position now, I think, in the overall ladder. The 13 there is me in the head-to-head comp, so I had a bit of a shocker on that. But an improvement that week just gone is a good thing there. And obviously a few of the guys that Joey decided and ended up playing, and a few of the guys in here that were sort of pushing for some pod plays and stuff in that last week, which I did a little bit, but not too far outside the spectrum there. So that's where those guys are at. One thing to look at is that top rankings, guys, and the guy that's leading the comp now is 150 points exactly ahead of the next guy on the list, who is then 8 points ahead of third, and 11 points ahead of fourth, before a decent gap of 45 in there between fourth and fifth. So good luck to all those guys in the top 4, especially, who will have a bit of a chance of winning. I think it's going to be very hard from fifth, you'd imagine at this point, given the massive 150 points ahead that James has, the unimaginative name, which, ironic in that. But well done team, an incredible season. Let's have a look at the squad while we're here and see what they've done here. They've got a couple of cheapies they've slotted in as loopers, which is obviously going to be helpful and allow them to go really heavy on guys at the higher prices, obviously. So Inglis and McDermott. Hale's in there already, Warner, which is good, and Sam. So there's 3 Thunder guys, can get 3 more in this next setup, which is going to be cool. 6 double game players is going to be pretty hard to run down, you'd imagine, when the 7th guy on the list is going to be Maxwell, Matt Short as 8th, and then you're mixing between Overton, Chris Jordan, Hardy, Inglis, and Ty, with guys like Ellis on the bench as well. So it's a pretty formidable lineup. It's going to be very hard to run him down. I think a few pod plays is obviously going to be the only way, and or do they, as being in second, do they try and secure that second place prize money? That's going to be pretty interesting to work out there, that's for sure. And just a big shout out to Andrew Langley, the back-to-back champion. He went for gold in pretty much ever since sort of round 2, and he had a little bit of a slower start. And it's been really helpful for all us coaches out there with all the podcasts and stuff. So big thanks to Andrew, and big thanks to all you guys for watching, really. I suppose pretty much everyone in my team there that I've got on the Thunder side are the guys you're going to want. Bancroft or Hales is probably that last pick. Making sure you go for the bowlers, given they have Monaco, which is going to be a pretty fun batting kind of day. Obviously has its chances for the bowlers, and then they have Showground in the second one, which is going to be a little bit more helpful for the bowlers, you'd imagine. But just remember that the pitch was not like that all the other times they've played there, so it could be a little bit better from where it's at this point. So very clearly, if you got Hussein is the other one, that's the only kind of single game player that you might want to look at 215k. But other than that, that's probably all for this video, guys. Thank you for being here. I'll do a little review once all the games are done this week. I think Wednesday night's our last game, so after that one, we'll that second double game for the Thunder, we'll get in and do a bit of a review on the season, and then we'll look forward to being with you guys next season for the Big Bash. And it's very clearly going to be getting into the NRL preseason, which if you haven't seen a lot of the NRL videos, jump in and do that. Just give it a crack, guys. Supercoach or NRL Fantasy is going to be a good one. See you later, guys.